Hello and what's going on, guys? This is Chris from KRS Boxing and welcome back to the channel. In my latest episode, I was joined by Terry Singh from LionDenSports and together we collaborated to cover the best of boxing in 2022. So go ahead and check out the video.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode, a new year, new start. Here today with Chris from KRS Boxing. Very pleased to have him on. It's our first one of the year, so we want to do sort of a review of the 2022 boxing year, which has been quite spectacular, hasn't it, Chris?
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure to join you, and I look forward to going through it. It's been a good year for boxing, but a good year again, and a good year for us, hopefully.
Yeah, well, I think it's been an up and down year. We've had some good fights. We've had so many letdowns in terms of boxing as well, which we're touched on. But Spence Crawford, we thought would happen this year. Tank Garcia, we thought would happen this year. And obviously the one that comes to mind straight away is Eubank Ben.
Oh, well, and that, we've had a good,
as well. So we've had it's been a year that's been promised so much. I think it's delivered some great fights, but I think it's a little bit under delivered this year.
Lackluster.
Yeah, but there's been some great high points which we're going to touch base on. So we're going to touch base on a few things today. I think first of all, we should start on possibly the fight of the year.
Okay, so fight of the year. I've got my three. I've got three, so I'd go Michael Conlan, Lee Wood. I thought that was a fantastic fight, to be honest, and especially the back and forth, just go a bit general with it. And when he knocked him down at the start, you almost thought Conlan he's just gonna take it. Yeah. But we'll move on. We've had quite a few of those fights. I've noticed that this year. Lubin and Fundora was another one on Showtime. Absolute cracking fight. Like that was another one, 2 knockdowns included. Yeah. And I would say personally, I really enjoyed AJ Usyk too. I like technical boxing, and when I get to see it, I think I like that style, like Usyk, and he's trying to move around AJ, because I think the notion is the heavier AJ is going to come in, that he's just going to be able to walk him down, press him against the ropes, and knock him out. And I don't think boxing's like that at all. I think it takes a bit more to sort of, you got to set someone up and you got to set them in these little traps, and that's what Usyk's able to do. And when he can walk someone into a trap, I think he's sensational boxer. So.
Sorry, that you just touch base on that. That is one of my choices as well, which I'm going to go on to. But what a fight that was, and you're absolutely right. It shows you everyone puts so much emphasis on size, on weight. Always like 100. He's 20 pounds heavier. He's 10 pounds heavier in the heavyweight division. But Usyk's shown it doesn't really make a difference. Good move, good head movement, brilliant footwork, in and out, amazing reflexes, a chin as well, which he was suspect of in the amateurs. He was getting he got stopped a few times with body shots and stuff in the amateurs. And who can forget he got beat by Sean Porter as well.
I know, and I think that's one of the craziest facts about boxing. And you think, because I watched the Sean Porter, it's like a little documentary thing they got on him. And he was an American footballer, and he debuted. I'm pretty sure he debuted at middleweight, and he was cutting down, and he's gone from 160 to 47, and he's had a very good career. I do like Sean Porter.
I love Sean Porter, but do you know what? He even fought James DeGale.
Did he?
Super middleweight. Yeah, when he come to the UK, he fought James DeGale. James DeGale beat him, but he's only like 5'7". He's 5'6", 5'7", something like that, and he's boxing all the way. He's boxing people that are now heavyweights.
Yeah,
like, it is. The guy, fair play to him, and how he must have boiled down to get down to welterweight from 160, whatever it was back then. It's quite amazing.
Just boiling down. That's Sean Porter. I think it takes you back when you had his career and the Kell Brook fight. Like, I love that fight. I was a big fan of Kell Brook, and I think his career it was a really good career, of course, but I just wish that like the Khan fight could have happened earlier. I always wanted to see Kell Brook and Thurman happen.
Yeah.
I think that would have been good, and that would have been a unification.
Kell Brook missed out on, because I think injuries and his outside discipline wasn't so good. He missed out on a lot of big fights. The one that comes on was Jesse Vargas, and I think he got injured, or did he get stabbed he got injured on holiday?
Yeah, in the leg in Spain, wasn't it? That was it might it's right. Yeah, it's probably one or the other. It's quite I think it was Mallorca or something. I don't.
Yeah, so,
Can't,
something happened over there, but he had a
yeah.
stop-start career, but I think he finished it. If he's finished, I think he's finished it
Yeah.
on a high against Amir Khan. I hope he stays retired now.
Me
The
too.
money, but he's finished on a high. Why come back in the competition? So just going back to it. So you had Usyk, Joshua,
Yeah.
Usyk,
Two. Fandora Lubin and Conlan Wood. They're
Conlan.
my three fight of the year. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you my three now. So it's pretty similar
Okay.
to Conlan Wood.
Yeah.
It's like a Rocky story, Conlan Wood, wasn't it? He got
It
knocked down.
was. It
He got
was.
knocked down in the second round or something.
I think end of the first one.
First, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
And we thought, oh, that's it. The crowd on the side were all cheering Conlan as well. So it's very
Hmm.
hostile crowd,
Hmm.
especially when you're in the ring and you can hear people nearby to you, saying, "Ah,
It's such a big like favourite, any Conlan as far as the fans. Like everyone loves him. Come out with Conor McGregor. Do you remember when he's protesting what I'm on when he's
oh,
debuting?
Conor,
Yeah, it was
Conor McGregor walked him
mhm.
out, didn't he?" So he's
Yeah.
such a big name in the Irish boxing, and for Wood
Mhm.
to knock him out in the 11th round, um, after a great fight, how he turned it
Sensation.
around was amazing. So for me, that has to be one of my choices, just because of the sheer turnaround and how the fight was, how Conlan started
Agreed.
well, and then how it slowly turned. I'm also going to go for a female fight:
Okay.
Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor.
Terrific fight. Terrific
What
fight.
I can't tell you, that is, it's 10 rounds, 2 minutes. Yep, I understand that, but it was non-stop action for the whole fight.
Mhm.
Kate Taylor was up. You thought she was winning, then she gets hurt midway way through the fight. Then she battles back and obviously gets the decision.
Mhm.
Such a close fight. It could have gone either way. But just the stage, just the magnitude of that fight. It's for the undisputed titles.
Yeah.
Um, it was in Madison Square Garden. It was first females, main event sold out over there.
Mhm.
Just the magnitude of how they performed. I think you have to give props to those women, how they
Oh,
performed.
100%. I think that might be the biggest one ever. I'll see. I like Marshalls and Marshall and Shields for that, but the magnitude of that fight. I don't think I've ever seen a women's fight like that. Like I think that done really really well. I did enjoy that fight, and I think it is up there. I think we should have done top five, but
Yeah,
I
gone
could
on
I could have
definitely.
squeezed it in. But I think the explosiveness of Leuven and Fandora for me. Yeah, I really rate Katie Taylor, and I think she should have a good 2023 as well. And Amanda Serrano.
Apparently,
Amanda Serrano's out, isn't she again?
she's out in
Uh,
February, I believe.
yeah,
Uh,
I can't recall who she's fighting, but yeah.
yeah, so that I mean, they both out. Hopefully, they meet again
Mhm.
during the summer in the Irish Stadium that they want to sell out.
Mhm.
That'd be an amazing fight. I mean, as everyone's saying, Katie Taylor will sell that arena just like that.
Oh,
So
100%.
that would be an amazing fight for her to get back there, and I'd love to see the rematch. Um, that would be
Mhm.
great. So that's my second option, and I've gone similar to you again. Is the Anthony Joshua and Usyk fight,
Mhm.
the second one. So just how just the magnitude of the fight. Everything that was on it. It was just how Joshua was better prepared this time. You felt he looked
Mhm.
better. He looked
100%.
he looked mentally more on it. He looked physically more on it. He was sharper with his punching. But how Usyk sort of adjusted his style and took away Joshua's attributes to come on top. And how I think it was in the eighth or ninth round, Joshua hurt Usyk. Uh,
Yeah, there was that thing, and Eddie Hearn said it, didn't he? He goes, "You nearly had him out of there,
Let him
just
out. Just
inches,
even
split
a few
seconds."
points. But how Usyk battled back the next round, I was like, oh my, this is amazing. Like from that 10th, 11th, 12th, he just took over the fight. Those championship rounds, he
Mhm.
took over. And unfortunately, Joshua didn't have an answer for that. Um, so for me, just the magnitude of the fight again, just everything that was on the line. I think that has to go into the top three for me. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, that is for me a
Yeah.
top three. So I've gone with Serrano Taylor, Conlan Woods, and Usyk Joshua too.
Mhm. I think yeah, you could definitely do it. I think the sway of the titles on the line for Serrano and Taylor, and it's such a big women's event. Like, I think women's boxing's really emerged like lately. I think Katie Taylor she was sort of the beginning of the trend of that for me, and then I started to watch her fight, and she's never in a dull fight. I've never watched a Katie Taylor fight and thought, oh, do you know what I mean? Or you've never seen
All
how it
action,
goes.
all action,
She
all from
is.
first minute to the last minute.
And she's quite technical. She's quite technical for the action, and I think that's what makes a fight so brilliant to watch.
And I think, as you said, a mention has to go out to Shields and Marshall. That
Oh,
was
100%.
just again the stakes on the line. That was for the undisputed middleweight title,
Middleweight. Yeah.
and both women performed. Like Shields non-stop coming forward like a Trojan, like just kept kept coming forward, and how Shields took all of her
It's
best
just perhaps, yeah,
battled back and threw
angles.
punches was again really impressive. So both women put it all on the line, and that has to have a notable mention as well in my book. But now
100%.
it comes to the decision of choosing just one out
Just
of
the
those.
one.
So out of those
Or
three, which one is the one that you think was the fight of the year?
so I think it's got to be Wood Conlon for me. I just think it was for a world title, so it had the stakes on the line. Conlon's undefeated. Wood's the champion, and Conlon's like he was almost expected to win, if that makes sense, because of how sort of he's got such a strong like following, and then honestly it reminded me of it. It reminded me of a Ward Gotti. It was that type of fight. It was
Yeah.
just the ending that changed it. It
Mm.
was that, and especially like Lee Wood had success when he was coming forward a lot, and Conlon's obviously he's got like the amateur pedigree, and he's a very good boxer. But even he was trying to go nip and tuck on the inside as well. So for me, I think it's got to be that one. What about you?
Well, we got to decide on one, right? We can't go with
Yeah.
two or three. We have to decide on one. It's a close one for me. I'm still tossing and turning between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano and
Hmm.
Conlon Woods.
Yeah.
I just think this was the first female fight at Madison Square Garden, and it
Hmm.
was sold out, and both women performed. They put in a great performance, and for the undisputed
Hmm.
lightweight titles as well. And then you got the Conlon Wood, which I can
That
see.
dramatic ending though.
Yeah,
It's against the ropes, and
I don't know.
it's just the ending. It's the ending.
I think it's the whole fight. I mean, it can't be just it's the whole fight.
Oh
That
no, for sure. But I mean, like the ending of Wood and like Serrano and Taylor is very different. It was a very dramatic ending, and he had the flash knockdown in round 11, and you're thinking he's getting back into it now a bit, Lee Wood, and he's got an extra point now because he's up 10-8 on that round, and then they're going back, and it's just I wonder what happens at the decision of that. Does Conlon just take it? Because you want to see a number two after that fight, but Leewood didn't let it go. He's against the ropes, push back, and then you just sit. It's the way like it was a cold knockout as well. I have to say,
you sold it to me. I think I have to go. I think we both can sort of agree
yeah,
on the Woods
I see that.
was a
Yeah, I mean, it's Taylor Serrano, you're right. I mean, the magnitude of it. It's what
yeah.
you want to see in boxing, like especially in the women's division. I think in now you're starting to get a lot of names coming through, and it's really good to just see the talent pool it's just going to keep building because that's sort of where it's at now. It's just a stage of building for it.
And I think as you're absolutely right, it's just going to keep getting better and better. We see this Caroline
Mhm.
Dubois coming through. You got
Yeah,
Ebony Jones. You got some other boxers locally coming through.
Sky Nicholson, you got
Yeah,
quite a
Scott
few.
Nichols.
Yeah.
Yeah, Southpaw class talent. Uh,
Hmm.
so yeah, you see more and more female boxers coming through, which is
Just
great, and
come through.
that only adds to the magnitude and the growth of female boxing. But yeah, I mean, I think
Hmm.
I think I have to agree. I think Conlon Wood for me, it had me out. I think both fights had me on the edge of my
Edge
seat.
of the seat.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna agree with you, Conlon Wood. I think that has to be the fight of the year for us. So
I,
we both
I
agree,
agree.
Conlon Wood fight
Yeah,
of the year.
yeah, I agree. I think it was just the ending, and I feel my heart goes out to Connon. Like, what a fighter as well, man. I think he'll come back very strong
Yeah,
for sure.
amazing,
Mhm.
great. I'm glad
Yeah,
we got through that one nice and
yeah, we
easy.
got through that one
I
nicely.
started-
That was quite a good one.
yeah. So next one, shall we touch base on? I think prospect of the year.
Prospect of the year. So I've got to be fair. I've got an honourable mention, and it's not just because he's the first on my podcast, but my honourable mention's Dylan Chima. I
Yeah,
think I love it. What that boxer series that just made it for me, that the year of boxing. But I'd have to say my top two. I'm gonna say Adam Azim and Galal Yafai. Galal Yafai, I really rate him, and he's got a WBC international, and he's only had 3 fights, so
mm,
he's starting to get ranked, and he's Olympian. I mean, yeah, and Adam Azim, of course, that Roland Charlton performance. Um, he's showing what he can do, isn't it? And he's all action. I'm pretty sure he's 6-0, isn't he? And he's got 5 knockouts. I think he's only went to a decision once.
I think he's 7-0.
7-0 and then 6 knockouts. Yeah, he's only been to the decision the one time, so he's got a big future. And I see him with Khan as well, so you might have a bit of bro, yeah, super lightweight. He's not even that far off him, £5. And I think Khan started at that weight, if I'm right.
Can't start that lightweight.
Lightweight, also give or take,
Yeah,
yeah.
knocked out by Prescott.
Yeah, Brady. He's like 19-0, wasn't he, when he fought him?
17,
Prescott, or was he
16,
17-0?
something like that.
Prescott was.
Prescott, I think, had a little. Yeah, Prescott was 17
Yeah,
and
not. Oh, yeah.
crazy,
He was
not
known
that
as a big puncher, wasn't he, at that time, Prescott? He
yeah.
was weird strength.
Lanky strength, like he's like
Hmm.
Thomas Hearn sort of lanky sort of strength.
Yeah, they're just so awkward. I watched Thomas Hearns, not to digress a bit, but Thomas Hearns and Duran, and the way he knocks him out, it's just that weird strength. Yeah, it was and I can't believe he made it to welterweight. I can't believe it.
But you mean what? But he went all the way up to light heavyweight.
I know cruiserweight. He won a IBO at it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he got it to
yeah.
cruiserweight as well. Wow. So it shows you he was
It's
6'1" or
mad.
6'1" or something like that when he's massive. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
so you've gone with Adam Azim and Galal
Galal Yafai, my top.
from your
Yeah,
ends as well, and he
yeah,
Galal.
Birmingham. Yeah, he's got the gold medal for us. So it's a pleasure to watch him. Even his brother, Cal Yafai, is one of the first ones I started watching as far as like he's winning a world title, and no one had won a world. I think it was 106 years or something. I couldn't tell you who won it. Really, he's classed for me as like Birmingham's first world champion. Like 100%.
Yeah, amazing. I think rightfully so. You know, we're not going to lie. Dylan Chima is one of our own. He's Punjabi,
Yeah,
going out there representing. Hopefully, obviously, he had a bit of a
bit of a slip up with Jordan Ellison.
slip up
Yeah.
at the end of the year. Hopefully, now I went to go see him a few weeks
Mhm.
ago. He seems in good mood. He's just battling a little bit back from an injury, and hopefully, he comes back stronger this year.
Brilliant.
Which we all want to see, and we're all behind him.
Mhm.
Hopefully, he does good things. In terms of prospects of the year, I've gone for now someone called Frank Martin.
Yeah.
They call him the Ghosts. So
Yeah.
I think he's managed by Errol Spence,
Errol Spence. Yeah.
17-0 lightweight. He is 27. He is
Mhm.
27. So I don't know if he comes under sort of prospect type of year, but you know,
It's still early days. Very tight, fundamentally.
tight.
Good
Like
boxer.
I've not heard of him much, and I think it's a big year for him. I think his last
Mhm.
one he done well. He knocked out his opponent. Now hopefully he goes on and does bigger and better things in his career now. Hopefully challenges. But that lightweight seems pretty tasty at the moment, isn't it?
Lightweights. It's probably the best division right now, to be honest. I think right, or one of them. It's a very, especially around that weight, saying that because
The
yeah.
depth lightweight division.
Mhm.
Just you got obviously Garcia, you got Tank, you got Devin Haney, you got
Yeah.
Cambosos, you got trying to
Uh,
get
mhm.
but,
I missed Teo at that weight, but I know he's
Theo,
quite big.
yeah,
But
Theo moved up.
yeah,
Lemachenko.
Lomachenko, yeah, good comeback this year. Really good comeback for all the stuff going on in Ukraine, and to I suppose it's like mental hurdles that they have to go over to really go and fight again. Does that make sense? Like to go away from all that and then just go to camp and fight, because this is a sport, and that's different, obviously different altogether. But
Representing. So
yeah.
yeah, I've gone with Frank Martin, 17-0.
Mhm.
Great, as he's a little bit older, but I think this will be his breakout year for me.
Mhm.
And then I've gone with similar to you, Adam Azim. Adam
Yeah.
Azim for me, really impressed me. in his last performance against Ryan Charlton. Ryan Charlton,
Hmm.
don't forget, was who's boxing at welterweight, and he
Yeah.
beat who did he beat? That Newcastle boy,
Ooh. I know. See, I knew it was very good experience
the Burley
because
boy. Yes,
yeah,
he
I'm
beat
trying to
someone.
think.
I can't remember. He got to an ABA final as well. So he
Yeah.
beat that lad at welterweight. He dropped down to
Hmm.
lightweight, and
I'm pretty sure he's a working class sort of fighter, weren't he? This is what we don't see. Like, I'm sure he's working while he was fighting, and then Adam
chef,
Azim was. He was
chef.
a chef. There you go. Like,
Yeah.
and that's a hard job. Like, yeah, like 100%.
So yeah, for me, Adam Z, he's only 19. He's 20s. He's
Oh, he's got a big future.
got a big
Very
future.
big future.
Got a big
It's his
future.
jab for me. Like, his arms are so long. The way he's able to keep someone just there,
What,
and
what, what
they can't move.
what was really impressive was Amir Khan was a lightweight, and then did you
Hmm.
see those two together when they were standing
Oh
together? So
yeah,
Amir Khan looked like his little brother. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
he's like six,
He's big. He's big.
5'10". He must be 5'10",
Hmm.
5'11", and I think Khan's like 5'7" or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and he's the similar weight, like welterweight,
Hmm.
lightweight. So he's got he's got a big year ahead. He wants to
Hmm.
be world champion by 21, 22. He's got big
Hmm.
hopes. Shane McGuigan says he's one of the best talents he's seen in his gym. Um,
Hmm.
and some people that I've spoke to said they've sparred him, say he's the real deal.
Hmm.
So for me, he has to be one of the prospects of the year. Um, so yeah, so I guess it's
So,
deciding on one
mhm,
again. But for me, I'm gonna go Adam
mhm,
Azim. I'm gonna
mhm.
go Adam Azim. For all
Ah,
the reasons that I've said.
mhm.
I think he's got a big future ahead, especially next year. Just the hype around him, Sky Sports backing him, everyone talking so positively about him, and he seems for his weight, he seems very strong and powerful.
So I think I'd concede to that. I'd say Adam Azim's probably our one pick. I would say. I think it's because of his youth, how young he is, and to be doing what he's doing against like Roland Charlton. He's a good, like pretty solid fighter, and to be doing what he done with him, it just shows how good Adam Azim is. I think he'll go up a few weights. I think that I sometimes worry when I watch boxers, as far as like it's good to be a world champion early on in your career, but a lot of people who become world champion early on, it doesn't really pan out a lot on the back end of the career, if that makes sense. Like the rest of it, look at like Adrian Broner, could even say like Wilfred Benitez. He was always in. They're always in good fights, and they've done a lot of good things early. But I like to see it spaced out, and I think that's when you can get the best out of someone. So I'd like to see him probably take his time. I think he's going to win a world title. It's just when. And then because I think as soon as you win a world title, the expectation is you're just in big fights all the time. And I think that can be a danger if you not to protect your own, but like they say, like Andre Ward, I think said it best. He goes, as soon as you lose, your paycheck goes down. So I think as far as using it as a business as well, because it is, I think it's got yeah, you gotta work smart with it.
Yeah, I think people like Amir Khan has shown that if you lose, you can come back stronger. He had
Oh,
that
100%.
mentality, and Derek Chisora is another one who's
Oh,
shown
Chisora, he's
that as well.
always been battling
Yeah, he's
Chisora.
always been battling. So,
Yeah.
I think for some boxers who don't have that outside appeal, it can be difficult.
Hmm.
But I think, for some fighters, like potentially even, you know, potentially even Adam Azim, if he does
Hmm.
lose, he does have that back in. So hopefully he can
Hmm.
come back.
I think,
I,
yeah, they can always come
think
back
he'll
for
do really
sure.
well. I think he'll do
Oh,
really well at
100%.
like Walter. So we're going with prospect of the year, Adam Azim.
Azim, yeah, I think so. See,
Perfect.
he's just so explosive. I couldn't believe watching him. Like, and is his brother his brother's a boxer, isn't he as
I was
well?
a boxer as well. Yeah,
Yeah, because that's the first show I've seen of them two, and good stuff to see.
I don't know. They're both quality fighters. Right. So we've done prospect of the year. Uh,
Hmm.
shall we look at coach of the year?
Oh yeah, we could go coach of the year for sure. I think Garcia's done well.
Which Garcia?
Garcia, I'm trying to think. Yeah, and that's what AJ's Garcia, Robert Garcia,
Robert Garcia. What's he done?
Robert Garcia. With Jesse Rodriguez, I think he's done a good job with him. He's I believe he's just become the youngest world champion in boxing right now, 22. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure yeah, I would say him and Derek James for me always does well. Derek James always does well. I think Derek James, I'm just going to say now, Derek James is probably my pick for straight up there. I do like Derek James. I think his
You
fights
know
are
what?
really
I'm
good.
glad we agree on this because
Yeah,
I've only got one choice for coach of the year,
just Derek James.
Derek James.
I
I think
agree.
you know what he's guided to Errol Spence to a world title. You know,
Yeah, another one.
to his third world title. You
Yeah.
know, after stopping you guess it was in the 10th round of a TKO. He stopped him.
Yeah, was it the eye, wasn't it? Or,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And you know, you guessed earlier.
Good fighter.
Yeah, he just beat
Yeah,
Pacquiao,
good fight. Yeah, coming off good win.
coming off a good win. So for me, you know, the Errol Spence winning his third world title at the welterweight division, that has to, you know, that can't be ignored. And also the Charlo.
Yeah,
Uh,
Charlo, I really rate them.
yeah,
Good
but
fighters. But,
which one just became the world champion? The under
yeah,
world champion.
Jamal. It's
That's,
Jamal and Maul, and it. I used to confuse them so much
yeah,
just because the back end of the names. It's confusing.
I think
I'm
they're
glad he
delicious.
moved up to
Yeah,
middleweight. That's how I know now. I only know because he moved up to middleweight WBC. That's it.
those brothers are destructive. But obviously, one of them became the undisputed world champion after stopping the Argentinian fighter
Uh, I'm
Brian
trying.
Costello.
Brandon. Yeah, Brian Costello. Brandon. Yeah,
Yeah,
Brian Costello. Yeah, second fight against him, wasn't it?
yeah.
Good
So,
fight.
so for me, Annie looks after Frank Martin as well. He's got him
Hmm.
in the gym and he's led him to 17
Good
and a
stable.
good stable, like
Good
tough,
stable.
top fighters there.
I think they're really fundamentally sound. When you see them on the pads, they're like parrying, the catching, everything's just within inches, and that's what I like to see because they're all pretty tight fundamental boxers, and I think that's what's making them as good as they are. Because no one could get past the defense really, and then once you get past that, they're pretty aggressive on the inside, especially Spence and the body shots. I think he's the body snatcher for me. Like he's taking Dillian White's name. Yeah,
Billy Waters has stopped no one to the body for a long time, though, has he? Not
he
he hasn't
hasn't.
for a long time, so caught himself that name. But his left hook's like deadly. But you haven't seen him stop to. I remember
Mhm.
him hurting AJ to the body in the
Yeah.
second or third round. That's all I can remember of it. But yeah, for me, I
Hmm.
think you're right. Errol Spence really works well to the body, really well. So
Hmm.
I think that was a pretty quick discussion. I think Derek
Yeah,
James,
we've
have we
got
both
Derek
agreed?
James, 100%. I like Derek James.
Coach,
Sensational trainer. Yeah, 100%.
great. So knockout of the year.
Okay, so this is a good one. So we've got, for me, I really liked how Plant knocked out Durrell. I think that was a. It's just I don't think we see a lot of like combination punches when you knock someone out, and he went down, he dipped to the body, and then like Durrell goes down to go like that, and then he just comes up and over. And I think that was a good knockout. I think Lee Wood, Conlon, I think that's another one. Um, yeah, I think they're my top two. I'd say my top two.
Okay.
No,
So I've gone with I think Plant Run is and Darrell
yeah,
is you know
good
how
good knockout.
beautiful left hook and how he stopped him. I also think Conlon Wood. I think that was a good knockout. You know how
Hmm.
dramatic of how it finished. How he knocked him out of the ring.
Yeah,
Thankfully, Conlon was all right after that as well.
absolutely.
Um, Fury White
Yeah, that was a
upcut was
deceptive
deadly,
one.
but I guess where he pushed him, it sort of made it a little bit borderline.
Yeah,
But it was a great shot, like beautiful shot.
absolutely.
But it's a very scrappy fight as well. I think that has to go into consideration. The good, you know, the
That was
fight.
a good fight.
Do you think that was a good fight for you, White?
No, as far as what Fury was doing, I think he was just. Fury hadn't been moving like that in a while, and I think it was good to see. And I think I believe Fury said it. He said Dillian White normally gets caught by the uppercut, and I didn't want to throw it. So it shows how clever he was, masking it with the jab, messing about a bit, and then he's moving around, touches him, and he just brings it up. And I think yeah, I did
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, it was a good shot.
Mhm.
But I think for me, Joe Cordina's knockout
To be fair, that was a good knockout.
that was a big.
You know what that reminded me of? Amir Khan versus Canelo. That reminded me
Oh yeah,
that shot.
similar.
Yeah,
Yeah, similar. So,
hmm
and that was knockout of the year back then.
that was knockout of the year.
So I just think again the magnitude. Cordina winning his first world title in front of his home fans.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Well, to be fair, that Kenichi, he was a strong puncher himself. Because I've watched one of his fights before, and I can't recall who he fought, but he knocked him down, and he you could tell he punches hard. So for Gordina to knock him out like that, I think yeah, that was a good knockout. Yeah, I'm
you
torn
didn't
with that
mention
one.
it. You didn't even mention it. You just gave what did
I
you give?
know. I didn't think of that until now, and then I was just picturing it because he like feints that and he goes over.
Drops it and comes over the top.
Yeah,
Beautiful, and the guy.
and that's what reminds me of Khan Canelo. It's exactly more or less the same. Like I think after this we need to make a reel and put them together. Like I think we can actually do that. And hopefully I don't know if Insta does copyrights. That's what I don't do.
Oh,
I get,
I think that's a good
yeah,
show. I think we'll potentially do knockouts of the year 2022. I think that's good. It's a great show.
yeah,
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Joe Cordina.
yeah.
I
Okay.
think his knockout was the best by far. Yeah, I think the left hook was good. But you know, yeah, it was good. It
Oh
was
no.
how
For
he
me, I've got to say Doral. I think Doral's his former world champion, and it's just the way. Like I think we see one punch knockouts, and we do see them, but I think for the combination like that, when you're learning how to box, you're going down, you're going up with the hook. I just feel like that was
Darrell's
punch
past
perfect.
Darrell is past it. Like
He is past it, but
he's way past it. Like, but he Joe Cordina he
I
beat a
think
world yeah, he beat the
yeah,
world champ.
world champion. I
So
think the question is Plant known as a puncher like that though? When have you ever seen Plant do that to someone? Because I've never seen. I'm pretty sure he's southpaw, but he boxed orthodox in that fight as well. Like
no, who
that's
Plant?
Plant, yeah.
No, Plant's orthodox.
Is he orthodox? I thought he was southpaw. I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay.
sure I've seen him box
When I saw
southpaw
him box
before.
against, he must have switched. But when I saw him box
Yeah.
Canelo, he was orthodox. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's switching. He's switching. I'm pretty sure he's switching.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's orthodox.
Maybe I'm. Yeah, we're gonna have to look at
You
that.
have to
But
look
I
at that.
always thought he's southpaw. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a tough one. But I think there's been some great knockouts, but I think Joe Cordina for me. I'm gonna stay loyal.
It's the world title. Fair enough. I think the world title pushed it over, and who he did beat a good fighter. But Kenichi Ogawa is good. I don't know if I can say his last name right. He's a good fighter, and it's a good knockout. Yeah, I think yeah, I'll have to go with it then. With yeah, I
Let's go.
think I'll have to do it. Yeah,
Let's go.
I
Cordina.
don't, could it kind of like if Plant had his IBF, this would be a different story.
I know that is true.
Yeah,
That is,
listen.
that is true. But yeah, world title on the line.
Mhm.
In front of his home fans, putting a great performance. So I'm glad
100%.
we agree on that one. So we're going
Yeah,
for congratulations, Joe Cordina. You obviously
absolutely.
knockout of the year. Now we come to our final two,
Yeah.
female fighter of the year. And
Female fight.
so
Okay.
I've got four.
Do you want to go first or shall I?
Yeah, no, I'll go first. So
Yeah.
I've gone with Katie Taylor.
Yeah.
Simply because her amazing fight against Amanda Serrano, as we mentioned, all-time classic, and her second fight was at the end of the year against Karen Carabucha. I think that's how you pronounce her
Yeah.
name, the Argentina boxer. Routine defense, but again, good year. She retained her undisputed
Pretty
title.
sure another undefeated record as well. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
no, Karen's was
Yeah.
an undefeated record. Yeah, absolutely
Undefeated
right.
record.
Yep. So I've gone with
Mhm.
her. I've gone with also Carissa Shields.
Brilliant. Yeah.
In terms of the titles, yep, amazing year again against Kozin. She had that, and then she had that big fight, which was called on and off of like hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Savannah Marshall, we finally saw it in October.
Mhm.
Again, lived up to the bill and put in a great performance. Another one I'm going to go for is Alicia Baumgardner. Like,
Mhm.
what a year she's had. Retained her titles. 2021 beat Terry Harper to become world champion. Then she beat Mateus. Then she beat the American, the undefeated American, who's
Yeah.
managed.
Is it Michaela? Yeah. I can't. I'm
Mayer,
stuck on the. Yeah,
Michaela,
that's it. I was stuck on the last one. I knew it was two M's.
in a
Yeah.
unified, yeah, in a
Yeah.
unified title, and now she's fighting against all the belts.
Yeah.
February again, or February or early or late January against Makeda.
Yeah.
So she's an absolutely phenomenal 2 years from absolutely no one who didn't know any. Came as an opponent for Terry Harper,
Hmm.
stopped Terry Harper and just elevated her career at each stage. So she has to have a mention for me as well. Um, yeah, I'll let
Yeah.
you say your three and then we can decide.
Okay. So we're in agreement with Katie Taylor and Clarissa. I really, really rate Clarissa Shields. But to be honest, you know who I think's had a really good year? Tasha Jonas.
Oh,
To
have
come
you?
back. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, to come back, and she's won a world title, and then
yeah.
she didn't win one world title. She unified. She won three titles. I really, really rate her because
Lovely
she had a
person as well.
bit of
Yeah.
yeah, she had a bit of a slow 2021. She had, I believe, was the split decision draw she had with Terry Harp. Can't. What year was that? Was that 21 or 2020? Then
Yeah,
she
that
lost to Taylor. Yeah,
I think she lost to Taylor first, and then
and then
then she boxed against Terry Harper.
yeah. I think to have those little things happen and against good fighters, but then she's come back super welterweight and she's won three titles this year. I think she's definitely the comeback of the year for me.
Yeah,
Between yeah,
she moved
I
up
think
in weight
that's
as
brilliant.
well. She moved up.
Yeah,
She used to be a lightweight. Has she gone up like 2 weights to middleweight or something like that?
super white. So just one before middleweight. Yeah, I think she will. I think she wants to go up to middleweight. If I'm yeah, I think she could do it. Yeah, maybe even a catch weight with someone if she wanted to see what they're like up there. Maybe bring them down. Put the welterweight titles on the line, and you can have a catch weight. Floyd Mayweather esque,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
like can yeah.
That'll be
So
some achievement. She can go and do that. I guess
I
it's
th-
quite competitive on the lighter weights, and she's
mhm.
moved up. But I think you're right. She did a great year, but I think I still have to. I think I have to go with Alicia Bangardner. I think,
I think Vanguard is good, but I think that fight was close with Maya.
but she's still got.
Maybe two. She still won, but it's too close for comfort for me.
But Katie Taylor decision was really close.
Yeah.
Natasha
Hmm.
Harris, fair play. She's gone up, and she's won 3 world titles, which is great. I think,
Hmm. Three world titles are
yeah, but
a
Chris
lot.
Shields as well. Like out of all of the fighters, she's the one who you can say she's
Oh,
clear. Like,
Clarissa Shields is just. I think I can say, you know, the quote. I think that's really what she is. I think
well, I don't. I think Katie Taylor's the great for me.
Katie Taylor's brilliant. I mean, as far as like what she's trying to do, like going to MMA as well. Like, I don't
Yeah,
think like as far as the like going in your prime as well. And then she's training with like John Jones and stuff at Jackson Wink. Like, but that's as far as I suppose that's a bit broader than boxing though.
yeah.
But yeah, we've got to settle on one though, haven't we? This is the question of the year. I could, you know, why I could go Katie Taylor for this year because of how big the Serrano fight was. And Serrano, she's a former seven weight world champion, isn't she, Serrano? And I
Yes.
think that's crazy. Like, I believe you only had Oscar De La Hoya in male, that's six weights, and then Pacquiao. So she's in the middle. So that's another crazy one.
Tough
It's
one.
tough. It's
Katie,
tough.
I can see Katie Taylor, Clarissa Shields, and Elisa Bank. I can see all three of them. But I
The
think
one
I I,
separation.
I think I think Alicia Bangarden again. I think
Ooh.
mate, she's had from where she's come from to what she's
Hmm.
done. She beat she beat former world champions to get to where she's got now. She's unified world champion in
Hmm.
a very competitive division.
Hmm.
So at super featherweight. So yeah, she's strong. She's got all the part. I think this year, if she becomes undisputed, what turnaround to her career. Uh,
It's them comebacks. I do like them stories. I think yeah. Go on, I'll let you because I feel like you Taylor.
reckon Taylor. I can see Taylor. I reckon Alicia Bang on. I think we should go
Leash
Alicia.
Bang. Okay, yeah, go
Yeah,
Alicia Van Garden.
potentially. I
Yeah.
thought we should get like Alicia, but like Kato's great
Hmm.
year. Like she's had two
Hmm.
fights.
Hmm.
Potentially one of the fight of the year is absolutely right. But the amount of
Absolutely.
sorry, the Bangana story is pretty
Yeah.
impressive she's done this year.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed.
So Alicia
Yeah,
Bangana,
yeah, Alicia
right?
Van Gardner. Yeah,
Let's agree with that one. Right, our last one.
yeah.
Finish on the male fight of the year.
Okay.
So
So this is still quite a big one,
yeah,
I think. So for me, I think Dimitri Bivol. I think he's had a really good year. I think I'm quite impressed that he beat Gilberto Ramirez the way that he did. To be honest, because Gilberto Ramirez is big, 44-0.
yeah.
Yeah, former super middleweight world champion. He was going to be the golden boy if it weren't Canelo at that time. I think he come up after Canelo, but I think he was on that trajectory, and I think highly talented. And I think the Canelo win's good, but for me it's more impressive because everyone just thought Canelo was going to destroy him, and I'm a Canelo fan, but I think for me I think the Sergey Kovalev fight. This is where the questions come in at light heavyweight because Sergey Kovalev wasn't the same Kovalev that we'd seen before, and I think he was slowing down, and I think fought Anthony Yard before that, and he nearly got
Oh,
stopped by Yard, didn't he? Because he was getting tired later on, and I think Canelo knew he had the experience that Yard didn't have to take his time and think, I'm just going to let him move around a bit, use his legs. Then once his legs have gone, he's just knocked him out. So I think that was a calculated fight for Canelo. And I think that's why Bivol's done so well. And I think Bivol's going to have a big 23 for sure. Like, it's only big fights for him. I would say, secondly, I would think I'd have to go second. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I've got, I think, a new eye because he's become undisputed. And yeah, I think Inoue and I think Jesse Rodriguez, who I mentioned before, I think he's had a good year. He's beat I messed up his name, but Rung Vasai. So Rung Vasai, he's beat him and he beat Carlos Quadras. So I think they're two very good wins. And to become world champion at 22, I think that's a huge achievement. So I think he's definitely had a good year. But yeah, I think the magnitude changes for Bivol because of how high profile the Canelo win was. But that'd be my three for now. Yeah.
you said two, and
So,
yeah, you said
uh,
Bivol,
Bivol,
Ray.
Inoue, and Rodriguez. In yeah,
Okay, I've gone for Bivol,
yeah.
similar, because of his win against Canelo. Um, people were surprised by it. I wasn't surprised by it. I was
Yeah,
quite worried
I
that
agree.
Canelo took that fight just because
He's big, isn't he?
he's big and Kovalev was on the way out. Bivol, world champion, he had I think against Craig Richards, he struggled a little bit, and that's why I think they took the
Hmm.
fight. But Craig Richards is a good fighter, good fighter.
Hmm. It is a
Um,
good fight.
so I think that's why he took the fight. And I think they miscalculated that the Bivol fight.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I've gone with that.
Hmm.
Also, um, his win against Gilberto Ramirez, 44-0. As you said, he was the next golden boy coming up. Um,
Hmm.
quite interesting. They put him in against Bivol as well. I thought they would have given
Yeah,
him.
I didn't see that coming. That was a bit of
I didn't see that
yeah,
coming.
I didn't
Maybe,
really see that coming at all.
maybe it was a financial package on offer that Gilberto Ramirez just
Hmm.
wanted the money. Also,
Just
it was
wanted to
out
take.
in Saudi
Hmm.
Arabia, so would have paid quite a lot to fight out there. So Bivol for me certainly. Inoue, he's on the. I didn't realize he
The
stopped Danae.
monster.
Yeah, he stopped Danae
He's
earlier.
stopped it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
stopped
Yeah, I
Danae,
don't know.
and then he
Don't know. It's
stopped.
brilliant, isn't it?
Danae's brilliant. Like he gave him a 12-round war, in
Yeah.
the
The
in
first time.
in that series.
2018
Yeah,
World Boxing Series.
that
Something like
was
that, weren't it?
in the
Yeah,
World
yeah.
Cup. So he gave him a great fight then, and obviously stopped him now. But obviously Danae's a little bit aged
Hmm.
now. I think it's
A little bit, yeah.
40 or
I think
something.
he's still coming off back-to-back wins, which is so impressive against undefeated fighters again. So Daenerys, he's a special talent, special talent.
Special man.
Hmm.
Obviously another Filipino representative, and obviously
Yeah.
it's win against Paul Butler,
Hmm.
which became the undisputed champion
Undisputed.
at the bantamweight division. So
And but knockouts, it's
yeah, man,
insane.
so
Yeah.
such a guy who's so light in weight. Yeah, he's really
Hmm.
impressive. So Bivol Inoue, Tyson Fury deserves a mention because of his wins against White and Chisora, and just the magnitude of fights. Obviously, he fought at Wembley, then he fought at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and he sold out what is it, like 130,000 tickets, whatever.
Yeah, Fury's
He's
he
turned.
was missed over here, and that's why he's doing so well now. Like I do like Tyson Fury.
Yeah, he's good.
He's
He,
a he's a good
he,
fighter.
he becomes a really sound person, so
Yeah,
he deserves it. And finally, I'm gonna go. Another option is Alexander Usyk.
he's
Uh, he's only fought once though, hasn't he? So he beat Joshua, but
yeah.
like the magnitude of the fight, the amount of pressure, the amount of money, the amount of eyes on that fight
Hmm.
was enormous. And what he was doing it for as well is Ukraine, his country.
Hmm.
So he deserves a mention. But if I was to choose one out of those guys, I would have to choose between Bivol and Inoue.
Hmm. To be
How about
fair,
you?
I think might be a bit of a controversial one. I feel like Rodriguez might have done a bit better than Inoue, although he's become undisputed. I think just because he's beat that Rungvisai, you know what you're getting with him. They've fought each other. He's fought Quadras. They fought like Estrada. Same with Quadras. I'm pretty sure Rungvisai beat Gonzalez when he was undefeated. Chocolatito. I think he's about 44-0, and he beat him twice. And for Rodriguez to do it at such a young age and beat both of them, I think yeah, I think to be he might be my fighter of the year, but I feel like Bivol might do it because he beat Canelo, and although Canelo was coming up, Canelo we can't. I think this is what happens in boxing. Like we have um we have the favorite like Canelo, but then we make the excuse like I was moving up, but everybody like that was before that. Everyone was like Canelo's going to knock Bivol out. I think a lot more people thought he's going to knock him out
Mm,
than like even go to a decision. I'd say. So I
mm.
think I think that's what we got to judge it off, and I think that was a very good win for Bivol. Hmm.
I think I'm going to agree. I think I'm going to go with Bivol. I think
Yeah, I
Bivol
think Bivol,
has a fantastic year from start to finish. Obviously, he's had two fights, but two big fights on the big
big
stage,
platform.
big platforms, big
Hmm.
money.
Yeah,
Um, I
and
thought,
I'm pretty sure he's quite inactive before this year. I think he fought once 2020, and there was like a year gap somewhere. I'm pretty sure might have been 2018 or 2019 or 2020, but one of them he hadn't fought. And to be fair, I'm not really clear on the reasons, but yeah, maybe I'll have to look at that.
yeah.
But it's a good year for him. That's what I think. Saying that, we could do some dream fights for this year because Bivol, he's got there's another one around that side of the world who's he could fight potentially. That's better BF. So
Are
yeah,
we happy with Bivol as the fight?
yeah, I think Bivol.
I think
Yeah,
Bivol. Glad we agreed on that.
yeah,
So just really quickly, you touched base on the some
just some dream
fights that we'd
fights.
love to dream fights in
Hmm.
2023. So I'm going to give you the option of choosing five dream fights that you'd like to see in 2023, and then
Yeah,
I'll pick a couple as well.
for sure. So I would go as far as dream fights, I think Fury Usyk number one.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be like the most explosive fight. I think it's gonna be a good technical fight. Or I would say Plant Benavides, if I could see it, I would. Spence Crawford, of course. I think that's what everyone's waiting for, and I think it's going to be a shame because how old's Crawford now? Is he 35? So yeah, I don't want to see him get too old before that. Um, who else could we go? I would say, to be honest, Spence Jr. and Thurman, just because it closes the chapter of that whole little era of like Danny Garcia. He's beat Danny Garcia, then he's beat Kell Brook, and he'd have beat Thurman if he could win. I think that's another good one.
He has some fantastic wins, isn't he? It's
Mhm.
arguable that he's probably a better wins than Crawford potentially.
Yeah, I think is that Thurman? Thurman was brilliant. I think unified. I think I think Thurman he was so on it, and then I think I'm not sure maybe he had like that mental flush where he needed a bit of a break, and then he lost to Pacquiao. It's a close fight, but yeah, interesting. And I
Same fighter
think
when he come back from Pacquiao, was he? Wasn't the same fighter.
no, no, yeah, that's the yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it?
So what dream fights? What
Uh,
other ones you got, man?
so we got Fury Usyk, we got Plant Benavidez, got Thurman and Spence, we got Crawford Spence, and the last pick I'd have to say, oh, there's so many fights I want to see. Um, who could we go with? I'd say, to be fair, Lomachenko and Haney at some point.
That's a
I
take.
think,
That's
yeah, I think that's especially Lomachenko's comeback. He's got a few wins. I
yeah.
think, yeah,
Just imagine if Lemachenko becomes undisputed and Usyk becomes undisputed.
that'd
Ukraine
be,
Ukraine be ruling it, wouldn't they?
yeah, it'd be popping. I think, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I mean, Haney's a really good boxer, and it's probably an uphill battle for Loma. But if I had to pick a style that he would do all right against, it might be Haney's because it's back to technical boxing. I think he struggles with the bigger, heavier opponents who are pressuring him purely because of how many weights he's come up. I think 130 is probably a good Lomachenko weight, but I think because it's the extra £5, and I mean Teofimo's big. Like Teofimo he could probably make welterweight, but I don't know how good he'd do at that.
He's
I'd call
struggled,
I'm
he's a little bit struggled at like welterweight, ain't he? He's had self doubt
yeah,
himself. It's
I've
amazing. We were big into Teofimo Lopez up at the start of the year. Obviously, he's
mhm,
had a few bad
few wobbly ones.
ones, didn't he?
I don't know whether it's like behind the scenes stuff when I watch Teofimo, like if you yeah, it's the Spence, not the Spence one. What was I on about? Lomachenko when he boxed Lomachenko on the All Access, like he seemed quite emotional with his dad, and I
Yeah.
think that struggles with the boxing side because he's his trainer as well. So I think maybe a few, maybe training with someone else and having his dad like watch him. But obviously they'll know the situation better than I could explain it.
Yeah.
I
It's a good
think
point.
yeah, I think that would be
Sometimes moving away
yeah,
can make things better, but it's tough. It's
yeah.
family, isn't it?
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. That's the tough one. I mean, Floyd had it to an extent when you see him arguing with Floyd Senior. So it just shows, and I think that's because it's your family. They can't get away from that if that makes sense. So that's maybe where it's tough for him.
Cool,
But
man.
saying that
Well,
Prograis in him, sorry, I got to have one more pick, but that's a good fight.
okay,
I
yeah,
think Prograis is wicked though.
okay, it's class. That'd be good.
Hmm.
So I
What
guess
about
my
you?
five will be Spence Crawford, number one.
Hmm.
That's been talked about for so long, and I want to see it. I want to see undisputed welterweight. They're the two elite fighters in that division. What extreme elite
Yeah.
fighters in that division. So you want to see it. So who's the best? Second for me, you mentioned it. Usyk and Fury again. The undisputed.
Hmm.
Let's decide the undisputed person at heavyweight. Let's see who's the
Heavyweight
best of the
champion.
heavyweight.
Let's see one now since
Yeah,
Lennox. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Let's see who it is. The third one, I have to go Batobiev, and if he wins against
yeah,
Yard,
yeah.
uh,
Yard, good fight.
yeah, and I have to go
Oh
for
yeah, I've mentioned that and I missed it. Yeah, but that is one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's those three are sort of the dream ones. Then I like to see Tank Garcia. If that happens this
Hmm.
year, that'd be amazing. I think that'd be a good fight, for the boxing audience. Last one, I would like to see Taylor and Serrano again. We didn't touch base on it, but
Oh, brilliant fight.
another
Yeah,
female fight
Taylor Serrano too.
over on this part of the pond, um, at
Hmm.
in Ireland, 60,000 people.
Yeah,
I think we deserve.
huge fight.
She deserves that. Both
Hmm.
fighters deserve the payday, and deserved all the exposure and stuff they get. So
Absolutely
I'm going to say those five, and hopefully, fingers crossed. They're fights that can happen.
hmm
They're not like proper dreams.
realistic. Hmm.
They're fights that people have talked about.
Oh, saying that one we've missed
Go
is
on.
AJ Wilder, which might not be as realistic as we think, but that is a good fight.
But I
Yeah.
think more realistic. I think Josh was going to come back. See, there's been no talk of him coming back, which is really strange. They said
Oh no, I think Eddie Hearn, didn't he? He mentioned they said the one top 15 opponent,
yeah,
and
but
then Dillian White, yeah, who the
also in December he's going to fight. Now we're in January.
hmm
Just mention he can potentially fight in March,
oh for sure.
April now because he's obviously needs a couple of months preparation.
Um,
Then he'll need a summer fight against potentially Dillian White or Wilder, which would
mhm,
be huge. Um, yeah, I'd love to see it, man.
yeah,
All great
100%,
stuff. All great stuff, Chris.
definitely.
Chris, thank you very much for your time.
No
Uh,
worries. Thank you for having me. It's been good.
Been good, man.
Yeah,
We'll do this again
definitely.
sometime in the future, man.
100%.
Do it
Yeah.
again soon. I've really enjoyed it, man. So thank you for your time, guys. If you have any comments, anything that you'd like to drop, please leave it in the comment for both any of us, and we can respond back to you very soon. Thank you very much, guys, for listening, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. It's good to be back uploading content. So please drop us a like, comment and subscription for more of the latest and greatest in boxing, as I'm sure we'll have a big 2023 ahead of us. You can also comment whether you agreed or disagreed with mine and Terry's picks during this episode for the fight of the year of 2022 and the rest of the content. And you can also check out Terry's page, as the link will be in the description. Thank you.